Hello, pilots, and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we have round 5, the final round of Beachhead 2022, recently filmed at the BIC. We are very excited to bring you this. This is the top table. Both players are 4-0, so this is winner takes all at this stage. But before we run through those lists, I am joined today by...
James, I'm back again.
Hey James, welcome back. We've got two factions that you don't really play, although
we had I'm dipping my toes into Scum a little bit, particularly because of the Razor Crest. That's just that show's just suckered me into buying more stuff.
I mean, Disney thanks you. Disney is happy that show has suckered you into buying more stuff. So we do have, again, a great matchup. Let's run through those lists. One of them, you eagle-eyed viewers might be familiar with it, as he got himself onto the top table at round 3 and then just decided that he was not going to leave. We have Peter back with his first order. Running through his list, he has 3 TIE SFs in Quick Draw, with Predator and Special Forces Gunner, Backdraft with Fanatical and Special Forces Gunner, and Phasma with Fanatical and Special Forces Gunner. We've got the Epsilon Squadron Cadet with the Automated Target Priority, and rounding the list off, we have Lieutenant Rivas also in the TIE FO. And what do we have on the other side?
Trying to bring down Peter's win streak is Ned, who I think was in the round 2 game on the channel.
He was indeed on round 2.
If you want to see more of Ned's list, head over to that video. But he has brought Guri with Elusive, Pattern Analyzer, Stealth Device, and the Virago title. That's the Star Viper. Captain Justero in, I can't remember the name of that ship actually. Was it
the Kirax?
Kirax, that's the one. Again, still new to the Scum, and I don't see Kirax a lot. And then we got 2 Jump Masters. We got Unkar Plut with Pattern Analyzer and Tobias Beckett crew. And Constable Zuvio with Composure, Pattern Analyzer, and Proximity Mines. There's a lot of Pattern Analyzer on Ned's team.
Yes, definitely wanting to utilise those actions. I think because the space tugs like to go backwards, and it's red.
Yes, I think they were the first ship that was introduced in version 1 with the reverse.
Yes, I believe they were the first ship to introduce the reverse mover. It's one of the things that they were, other than being absolutely spammy with tractors, it's one of the things that they are known for. Still don't have many ships that can reverse, but we have the odd few now. I think it's one of those late 1.0 rules that when it got introduced, FFG at the time sort of looked at it and went, these are actually like really cool rules that we can probably utilize more, especially, for example, the Bullseye that originally was only on the Kimagila, and then come 2.0, everything has a Bullseye on its template unless it's pure turret arc. And so many upgrades utilize the Bullseye, and I think that was a brilliant move on their part, to be honest.
Yeah, introducing that as just a mechanic for the entire game it's made some abilities really more skilled to pull off, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Predator is probably a big example of that it's not just in your forward arc, it has to be in Bullseye.
Yeah.
I think another advantage to that is it's brought those points down as well. You look at Marksmanship, Deadeye Shot, Predator, 1 and 2 point upgrades there. Whereas if they didn't have that limitation of Bullseye only...
Yeah, probably be double the cost, maybe more.
Yeah, I reckon Marksmanship and Deadeye would be 3-4 points because they would be so powerful. And I love those upgrades, so I'd still pay that, to be honest. But enough about waxing lyrical about the points and my favourite upgrade cards. This is going to be an interesting game, I think. We've got two quite different styles of play here.
You got Peter with the First Order with, very similar ships. Their dials only vary slightly, clearly sticking them all together, keeping everyone by Phasma for her ability.
Such a
Quick
good ability.
draw, she's potentially brutal.
Yeah.
But then Ed's got like Guri with a stealth device as well, and elusive, just trying to keep those points on the table.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I absolutely love Guri. I love the Star Viper. It's a really cool looking ship, and that bendy barrel roll, it can get you into some ridiculously odd positions. And couple that with the fact that he's got Virago on there as well, which means in the end phase he can spend a charge and do a red boost. So he can do a pre-move before he's even got started.
I think the other thing I really like about Guri is that her ability is just very simple, but also very effective. Just as there's someone close to me, great, I'll grab a focus.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Guri can't actually take a focus normally. She can only take a calculate because she's a droid. She's an android,
yes.
So her actual ability is to calculate, but she gets that focus when people are close. I like that. And I think there's some interesting mechanics on the table. Obviously, you've got all the tractor mechanics with Zuvio and Unkar Plut, which obviously with the advent of 2.5, tractor isn't as powerful like that anymore.
But the rules being played at Beachhead was that you can tractor onto obstacles?
Yes, so Beachhead was recorded pre 2.5. We'd been told roughly what they were going to be, but nothing was official at this point.
Yeah.
So we played 2.0 rules, so 200-point lists. The only updates to the rules we had was we had road in effect, and we also had the gas cloud no longer giving you the auto evade. And thinking back on all of the games we had on top table, I don't think anyone took any gas clouds, and I'm wondering if that was the reason no one took gas clouds.
Possibly.
It was definitely all debris and asteroids instead. So, and in this case, we've got 6 debris.
I think that's definitely something to show here, because Peter is darting his way up the board to get around the initial group of obstacles.
He does not want to get stuck in there. Having to fly 5 ships through that anyway is going to be interesting, especially when, although their dials are similar, they are not exactly the same, and they're not in what you'd class as a standard formation either.
Yeah, it's not your standard grid, and it's not even like an offset grid. They're a bit mismatched.
But I like it, and we've seen over the last couple of games that Peter has the ability to make this work, and it looks chaotic to start with, but then when the dice start rolling, suddenly you're like, okay, this now makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it's definitely harder to fly in a formation like that, but if you can do it, then you get massive benefits, like being able to have ships in those weird little like in-between ranges where it's like, oh, well, I guess all of my ships are choosing a range 3, whereas with this you might get a couple of range 2, a couple of range 3 sort of thing.
And he's leading with his FOs as well, which we saw in round 4. So it looks like he's using them as those blockers, like you kind of want to with Initiative 1 ships, especially in the original 2.0. It's less of an issue in 2.5, but still in 2.0 it is very good to have those blockers to get in the way, especially if he wants to shut down Guri and stop her from getting her calculate. Yes, she'll get her focus still, but if she can stop some of those crazy barrel rolls, then that is going to be absolutely brilliant for Pete.
Yeah, even just like denying options for the barrel roll means you've got a better chance of guessing where Guri is going to end up, and you might actually be able to land a hit.
Yeah. And stealth device is elusive on Guri. It's going to make it a tough prospect, but focus fire is going to be the order of the day there. And I don't know about yourself, James, but I think that for Pete, Guri is going to be the target to start with.
Yeah, I think in terms of points, Guri is basically half the list, which is odd considering there's 4 ships on Ned's team.
Oh, but the Star Viper is just an incredibly expensive ship in Guri. As well, 82 points there. But I think it's worth it. I really do. I wasn't ever a big fan of the Star Viper in version 1, but in version 2, it kind of makes sense now. And I have, on occasion, flown 3 of them at the same time, and it is hilariously good fun.
Yeah, as you said earlier, the Kirby barrel roll it just opens up so many options. Like to get around someone's arc and maintain a shot on them by barrel rolling to the side and forward a bit to keep the angle. Brilliant.
Yeah, you just can't understate how good that is. But then again, looking at the rest of the list, there are still some really good shenanigans in there. One that I like, and we did actually see a good effect of it during the second game, was Justero's ability. So after an enemy ship suffers damage, if it's not defending, you may perform a bonus attack against that ship.
So that triggers off of Zuvio's mines. Or I guess if it flies over an obstacle or something like that.
Yeah, so it triggers off Zuvio's mines over an obstacle, so if it's tracted onto an obstacle.
Oh, of course, yeah, that ties in with the tractor beam. Yeah, okay.
It would even trigger when Phasma passes the damage.
Oh, that's a good point in this game. Yeah, because Phasma's ability, if I can bring it up, hang on. Phasma the pilot. While you defend, after the neutralize result step, another friendly ship arranged not to 1 must suffer 1 hit or crit damage to cancel 1 matching result. And that's a must ability. It's not we'll take that damage. You've got to do it.
So it's interesting. With obviously that was never Ned's plan. Is that he was going to come up against Phasma and Jostero was going to be like brilliant.
Yeah, you don't go, oh, I'm going to fight Phasma at a tournament. I'm going to bring Jostero to capitalize on it. That doesn't happen, but it's worked out in his favor.
Yeah, it's just added to what he's already tried to do. And I love that. I think Jostero, like, we saw that ability trigger in the second round, and I had to go back and rewatch it a couple of times when I was editing it to understand. I was like, why is Jostero shooting at this stage? What's happening? It's because the prox mine was dropped so quickly, and they didn't even put it down. I was like, oh.
Oh, right. The proximity mine's just going off. We'll just roll the dice.
Yeah. And it was just absolutely brilliant. So it's just it was just such an interesting interaction to watch.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like the Kirax. I know that there have been some 5 swarm Kirax flying around. We don't tend to see them down at Entoyment where we are. Not many people actually have that many Kirax. So when we see them, it's a bit more of a rarity. But I do like the ship. I think it is a pretty cool ship. And there are some good pilots on there as well.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Guri's going to handle this opening engagement. She's not actually in the best spot.
No, and she's
got range, so she'll have plenty of green dice, but everyone's looking at her.
I think the only person... I mean, I was struggling with this on round 4, but I think that the only people that will have range on Guri is going to be Remus and possibly Epsilon. Although, just seeing that template, maybe I'm completely wrong there.
But we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. But it looks like we're going straight over to quick draw.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a shot at, who's that, Unkar?
Looks like going into Unkar obstructed. And that's a hit crit going in there. Now, no shield, so that is going to be spending that focus to avoid that.
Yep, avoiding damage is a good option when you can. Especially when you're a quad jumper and you're like, you know what, my attack isn't the best anyway. I'll spend it on the defense.
It does make sense. Oh, Guri barrel rolling herself out of arc there, unfortunately. Good for the channel, not good for Guri.
Branding.
So yeah, it looks
Oh
like
yeah, you're right. The ones at the back are out of range Guri. That
just
curvy
out
barrel
of
roll working out.
just out of range of Zuvio as well. Though that's a little bit disappointing for Pete. I think he'd like to just get some dice slug at them to start whistling them down. But it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Even if he had the shot, it's range 3 through a little rock. I can't imagine a whole lot's gonna happen. I mean, yes, it's dice and it can happen.
Oh yes, it can.
It's not the best shot, so I don't think he's missing out a lot.
No, but we do now have Backdraft going to be taking a shot at Zuvio, and this one I believe was it obstructed? I didn't.
We'll see how many green dice get rolled.
Yeah. So just the one hit, unlikely to go through. No, didn't go through. So
I don't think it was obstructed because there was only 3 dice.
4 there, so
4 dice. How many?
So that would be an obstructed. They have 2 basic.
Yes, sorry, yeah.
And Zuvio taking a shot. I mean, they're kind of fat and you kind of expect it.
For a cube.
Yeah. And it was at this point that the dice cam broke. A few technical issues on the day, but luckily we spotted that and Pete was able to carry on rolling on the table, so we can still just about see what his dice are doing because he's got those really nice ones that make it difficult to see. But
Ankar is lining up a shot on someone, maybe, no?
Yeah, look. Yeah, Justera was just out, so just checking. I think going into Backdraft unobstructed, that's probably the best option there.
2 focuses? Or
2 focuses and plenty of ways, no damage into Backdraft there.
So and now over to the initiative ones.
Yeah, and I think you've got to take that shot on Guri, see if you can strip that stealth device.
Yeah, you just need 1 bit of damage to get through to lower that agility.
And also, if you can potentially force Guri to use the elusive as well, she'll have to do. Oh, that's plenty
5 green dice. You're looking pretty comfy with that.
Yeah. Although, if you ask Quinn about 6 green dice and a long-range shot, you'll get a very longing look of sadness where he...
As we said, it can happen. They are dice.
Green dice are fickle as well. They hate you. Yeah, so this is the point Pete realises the camera's broken.
Yep, there's a hand coming in to have a look at the camera.
It's always fun when you're doing a long day. You expect technical issues. Luckily, we were able to just carry on. The players
also,
just brilliant.
It's only the dice cam.
Yeah,
it wasn't the main one. We've still got the footage of the final.
Absolutely. I mean, that was round 3 where the main one started playing iffy with us, but again, we persevered and we got a really good round there. So, no damage actually going through there from that first engagement.
Yeah.
Was a bit of a long-range engagement, so you weren't expecting a huge amount from that.
So this was the final of the day?
Yes.
What were they playing for?
So, both players, we had some trophies made up. So, we had 3 trophies made. One that was a golden X-Wing, which we'd actually mounted on a large base. And if you looked at it quickly or for even just a moment, you'd think that someone had just made oversized X-Wing game. But first place won themselves a gold X-Wing and some tokens and some cards. Second place got a silver TIE Advanced. And third place won themselves, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my favourite, the bronze TIE Interceptor. And I thought they actually looked really, really cool. If you look on our Instagram, you should see pictures of those on there. But But yeah, this wasn't a store championship or anything. It was just a casual tournament. But again, we had some great players come down and play some absolutely fantastic games. And everyone had a really good time as well.
Yeah, all the stuff I've seen from the tournament, it looks like everyone had a great time.
And it was just such a great atmosphere as well. With it being Beachhead, it's a massive wargaming convention that's held on the south. I think this year was actually made it the biggest wargaming convention in the south of England. And all the tournaments they had going on, there were Games Workshop tournaments, there were just so many tournaments for different play systems all over the place, and I only got a chance to have a quick look around, but there was some absolutely amazing miniatures on display. Just over from us, there was a mini Legion tournament going on. So yeah, it was great. We even had Joker Squadron wandering around as well in their Stormtrooper outfits. We had a Wookiee, we had Leia, we had some Rebels. It was just really cool, and we have a reverse there from Zuvio.
Oh, nice. The complete opposite of Unkar, who's decided to go straight in there, try and get some bumps to get his ability off.
Yeah, Unkar, I think, forgot how to put it into reverse, but...
Well, he tried to press reverse, but then slammed on the accelerator instead.
But that's an interesting position there. So that could be quite nice. It does probably wish that if those SFs had been there before, that would have been more ideal, as he would have been able to do the space-time tractor array action.
I'm really curious to see if Rivers has managed to bump Guri, because that could be pretty bad, but they're marking him, so I'm guessing Guri has got past him.
Yeah, I'd anticipate, is that 2? Yeah. Oh, just double checking, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it fits. That's why they're here at the final. They know that that's a safe option to dial in. But
yeah,
even then, you look at here. Yeah, I think that'll fit. I think. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's try it. That's usually my thought process on a dial set like that.
Yeah, generally. The big question here is boost or barrel roll. If you barrel roll in or away, if it was me, I'd probably be barrel rolling up and forward.
I feel like you barrel roll down and back to kind of be sort of parallel to Rivers, who just went past.
Exactly, as they're doing.
If you barrel roll the other way, you then end up in arc of who is that next to Unkar?
So you've got that's backdraft next to Unkar.
Yeah, because now Guri is just completely out of the way of backdraft.
Well, I mean, I was thinking if he'd have gone the other way and barrel rolled the ship forward with the barrel, with the bendy template, he might have caught Phasma and possibly snuck out of backdrafts. It's going to be interesting what Quick Draw does if he anticipated Unkar being there, though. And you almost, if you're Pete, you're hoping you probably dialed in a 1 with Quick Draw. Otherwise, bumping into Unkar is going to be bad. There is the 1.
Playing it safe. I like it, although with the 2 would have bumped. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I think Unkar Plut's probably sat there just going, but why do I have 3 ships
he's almost
within range 1?
It's almost like he's parked his car like in the space next to these others all around him, and he hasn't bumped any of them.
It's a great parking. It is absolutely fantastic.
It's a shame that he can't get his ability off, and also that he doesn't have any mines that he can put near the enemy at the moment.
Yeah.
But now the fury of the First Order is almost all going to go into Guri here, I think.
I mean, even though Quick Draw has a really nice range 1 shot on Unkar, I definitely say you've got to go into Guri, and there is the. So that's
the Predator.
2 hits.
Yeah, that's into Guri, isn't it? With all those greens.
Yeah, plenty of evades there for Guri.
I mean, even if you manage to get Guri to spend a token, then that will help someone else.
Yeah. I'm curious as to who Ned will go for with Guri. Does he just go in on the Epsilon?
I mean, with no damage already being dealt, you kind of just pick the closest target, don't you? Most of the time. And I guess in this case, unless you've got a good shot on Phasma to maybe get just Arrow to trigger.
It looks like I'm going on Backdraft.
Okay. That's fair.
That's potentially 2 damage there by the look of it. Yep,
yeah,
2 shields.
Guri doesn't want to spend any kind of offensive mods because there's still more shots going at her.
Yeah. And Pete's saving his focus. I think he really wants to hammer down on Guri. But we do have Zuvio to shoot next.
I mean, I think you go for Rivas here because Backdraft is behind a rock as well. And I think further away, unless they're both range 3.
Yeah.
That's just right, you spend the focus on that, I guess.
Spend the focus, yeah.
No damage, I think?
Looks like no damage there.
Okay.
Getting very low.
Yeah, we've had a lot of shots and no damage from anything so far. Which, looking at the board, you wouldn't have thought that would have happened.
No. Oh, that's 2 hits coming in there.
Okay.
And spending...
He's paint, so can spend a token.
Having to spend that focus. So that is good for
both
Guri
players.
Still
has elusive and stealth device.
Oh, that looks like 2 hits and a crit there.
Oh, so elusive a blank.
Gonna have to elusive that if he gets the evade. No.
Oh, but he spent the focus.
Spend the calculate. So that is a shield and stealth device gone.
Yeah, that stealth device being lost is not great.
I mean, Pete probably didn't want to do. Yeah, he probably didn't want to have to spend 3 shots doing it, but it is now definitely in his favour.
Yeah, it's the first step in taking out Guri's stealth device.
Yeah, actually, it was 2 damage that went through there, by the look of it. Because both shields are down on Guri's card.
Yes, because only 1 got evaded, and there were 3 hits.
And that's 1 more damage on Backdraft, so no shields.
Damage has been dealt this round.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on how to approach attacking Quick Draw? Do you think attack her first if you can, or leave her until the end where you can maybe position around her a bit easier because there's less ships on the board?
It's a really interesting one actually with Quick Draw. Obviously, you either want to have an incredibly decisive shot that gets rid of all those shields in one go.
True, there is that. I do want to just point out Quick Draw's ability, just for anyone who isn't aware. After you lose a shield, you may spend 1 charge, which for Quick Draw does recharge back up to 1. If you lose that shield, you may perform a bonus primary attack. It's an amazing ability.
Yeah, it is a fantastic ability. So we kind of had this discussion last round, but I think the best... You either go all in on Quick Draw or you leave her alone. But there's such a risk there because she's an I6 that she can dominate you so quickly. But if you are able to get multiple shots into Quick Draw in a round, take it. Because she can only double tap once. And if you can strip all of her shields away, then you've basically nullified 50% of what makes quick draw really good, which is the ability. I say 50% because I think being an initiative 6 is still really powerful.
Yes, no, I agree.
But yeah, if you can strip her shields down in one round, brilliant. If you don't think you can do that, you need to somehow get to the side of her or take everything else out so that she's on her own.
Yeah, that seems a fair plan. I'll keep that in mind myself.
And if you do see Phasma with quick draw, don't shoot a Phasma, shoot a quick draw. Pro tip there.
Yes, that's a nasty little combo, but
it's brilliant. I actually think I've never even considered using Phasma before, but seeing Peter fly Phasma with quick draw makes you just go, yep.
It's one of those interactions where it's like, you know what, that's actually really good. Also, fairly thematic. The first sort of Phasma going, no, you take the damage, and quick draw going, all right, bring it.
Yeah. Oh, did that?
I think it might have just clicked the rock.
I think it did, unfortunately.
Although, no. Taking an action. So, wow, that was... Oh, hang on. Still rolled a die?
So still took a damage.
Not entirely sure what happened
there. Looks like clip the rock, but Pattern Analyzer doesn't allow...
Pattern Analyzer is after you fully execute a red maneuver before the check difficulty step, you may perform one action.
But when you go over an obstacle, you don't class as fully executed, do you?
No. Or is it only if you bump an enemy ship that it's not fully executed? This is where it gets into the real, wording of the rules.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's fine. The players obviously have discussed it. They're happy with it, so we'll carry on.
I've never considered Pattern Analyzer to be able to do that, but I could see that it's a possibility, so sure.
Guys, if anyone wants to clarify, Ned, you clarified a great point from round 2 the other day. Drop it in the comments below. We love to hear what you guys think. And you know what, sometimes there are things that we don't know or interactions we've never seen, and you guys have been brilliant about sort of explaining how that works for us. So feel free to drop it in the comments below, guys. I love reading them and I love commenting back to you guys.
Also, Phasma's just done a pretty good sloop keeping Guri in arc.
Even more in arc. But probably trying to avoid quick draw right now.
I don't know, she's got closer to quick draw.
Quick draw's yet to move.
Yeah, but even so.
Potentially getting in quick draw's way. If quick draw does a one bank there. No.
Ooh.
So is that the K?
Must be. No. Oh, the rear gun, of course.
Rear gun doesn't need to do the K. Probably rotate, I reckon. I mean, you'd have to rotate. It's got no shot.
Oh. You can link the rotate from almost anything with these, can't you?
Yes.
Yeah, it says barrel rotate. Shame quick draw can't use predator out the back.
Yes, I mean that would be cool, but if they'd have had munitions, they could have used those out the back.
True, but I think Peter's list being fairly light on upgrades has meant he's managed to get 5 ships in there, which is proving effective.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite nice seeing a light on upgrades list. We're not going to see that, to be honest, very much with 2.5, so it really means that the choices that Peter has had to make there have been very important, and they seem to be working really well. I mean, it's a shame Backdraft has gone down so quickly for him. It's given Ned quite a sizable advantage there, taking Backdraft out, but he's still got to get past Phasma and Quick Draw, and I don't envy him right now, to be honest.
And Guri is still dodging shots.
Sneaky Star Viper. And that is a shield on Quick Draw. Boom,
Oh,
boom. Here she
okay.
goes.
Quick Draw's taking the bonus shot.
2 hits.
No mods. 2 hits is good.
There is a calculator there, but that is...
Spends to calculate for 1, takes 1 damage.
And that's half points on Guri, which, scarily, if you look at the points, it's only 5 points less than a full backdraft.
Yeah.
That's how expensive Guri is. And it was a loose stabilizer as well on Guri. That is...
Oh, that's a pretty nasty crit for Guri.
Oh, is that a range? That's not from Phasma, is it? Into... Oh, bye-bye, Guri.
Guri, no.
That so well positioned by Pete that Ned...
Yeah, that was a total kill box between those two.
Ned did really well. I don't think he... It's so hard to anticipate that 4K from the SF. I think Pete was hoping that Quick Draw was going to bank in, which would have been a great block. But
yeah, I think Ned maybe banked too much on Peter going slowly and just didn't anticipate the faster moves.
But he's got another shield down on Quick Draw, so that means Quick Draw's only got 1 more opportunity to do that.
True, and Unkar hasn't shot and does have Quick Draw in arc, so potentially get rid of all the shields. And as you said earlier, that's almost half of Quick Draw's benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the other benefit as well, you get to look at Quick Draw's card, which is a really cool looking card. It's one of the most dramatic cards in the game, I think. With the bright green like flare from the lasers. It just looks so nice.
Yeah, I do appreciate that the designers went, you know what, it's the Initiative 6 ship. We'll give them the cooler art of a First Order tie that we've got.
And that is 2 damage just gone into Unkar from the Epsilon there. And looks like we are back to dials. So whilst we're waiting for them to get their dials set, guys, just want to remind you, if you do enjoy what we're doing here at Out of Arc Gaming, you can support us on Patreon. We have a link in the description below. We've mentioned it many times, but if you do become one of our top patrons, you actually get to tell us what to fly. And you know what? With the advent of 2.5, that could be scary. You could give us some absolute jank to work with, and yeah.
I think the only real vetoing on that is don't give us a list with a 15-point deficit or something.
Oh yeah, it has to be as best as possible a full list. Yeah, I mean if it's
19 points total, that's probably right.
Yeah. But anyway, back in, and that is a bump from the Epsilon. So the Epsilon and Revis have done some work, actually. They've been some really efficient ships for what are just Initiative 1s.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Peter's list and you go, man, Quick Draw, Backdraft, and Phasma, that's a scary trio. And then there's these 2 other guys just flying around being a nuisance.
Yeah, you almost forget about those because you're thinking, 6 health, forward and back shots, double shots from Quick Draw, Phasma passing damage around, fanatical.
Ned's kind of got the same sort of thing. You look at his list and you go, I need to kill Guri, which Peter's done. And now he's like, oh, right, yeah, these other guys that are flying around being a nuisance.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't really had much opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what could happen. I mean, Zuvio does have those proximity mines, and there's a lot of ships in front of Zuvio at the moment.
Yeah, if the problem is they're in front of Zuvio.
Well, Zuvio needs to. Zuvio, does it?
Well, if Zuvio wants to drop those prox mines, it does. You'd kind of prefer to have them behind, but
Zuvio's ability does let him launch a device 1 in front instead.
You are indeed right. Shows how often I use space tugs. Okay. So yeah, He basically has an inbuilt mini trajectory simulator.
The only
Even
thing
now-
you need to be careful of is you don't really want to do that to quick draw whilst she still has a shield. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why Ned's been slowly rolling in and occasionally reversing with Zuvio to try and avoid that scenario.
Yeah, 3-point turning himself into position. But we do have a tractor there. Ooh, nice.
Okay.
I like that. Potentially forcing.
I mean, we've seen Ion really messing with people's, maneuvers. Barrel rolling to the side like that could really mess up quick draw.
Yeah. Now having the. There's the.
Okay, opting to rotate, I guess, knowing what he's dialed in, he knows that's the safer option.
I did like it when they introduced that 90-degree rotate on there. It was
It's almost like the ship's sort of fighting against the movement that it's been forced to do, and you can sort of turn it a bit.
Yeah. There's a few things, there's a few updates that they did with certain things. Again, some of them were in the midst of 2.0, some of them were from first edition to second. It's like Ions now, you do a blue maneuver and you can take a focus, whereas previously it could be like it was a white one forward. So if you were stressed, you weren't losing that stress. It was Ion was a lot more damaging in first edition than in second edition. Not saying in any way that it's not really tough
it's more streamlined
second.
in version 2.
Oh yeah. I think that's a lot of what 2.0 did, was streamline a lot of things.
Okay, so
Definitely not.
Okay. Bumping there. Interesting that you would tractor quick draw knowing that that's going to be a bump. I'd be curious to see Ned's thought behind that. Unless it's simply a case of, I forgot, which can happen. I've done it many times, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, maybe-
I guess you still have arc on everything. Maybe moving quick draw in that direction just seemed the best option.
I think maybe anticipating there that quick draw wasn't going to rotate, so would probably bump into Jostero or Plut when he moved, setting up that prox mine drop. Is just a potential. It's one of those ones. There's so many things that could be happening there. It's hard to really work it out, and again, really hard to get that template out. And
Yeah, especially with that one, the smallest rock is always the one that gets in the way.
Oh yeah.
So then we're over to Phasma and quick draw, I think.
Yes. Because that's everyone else done.
Okay, so where is Phasma going?
Looks like
It's just one forward. It's weird that they're ties and they just go one forward.
yeah.
I'm still not quite used to that, despite these ships being around for ages.
Well, I mean, especially when you watch The Force Awakens, and this is the ship that Poe and Finn are in.
Yeah, and Poe literally says something along the lines of, wow, this is going to really move. Or something like that.
Wow, these are fast. And it's like, he's absolutely gunning it. And yeah, the SFs aren't slow.
No, they can be quick.
They can be quick, but they're still not as quick as an FO or an interceptor. I mean, I'd love to have seen what Poe thought about a Whisper or a Silencer then.
Okay, so if that's what quick draw did, then she would have bumped into probably Unkar if she hadn't done the rotate after the tractor beam.
Yeah, I don't think she would have bumped into Unkar. I think she'd have ended up bumped into Jostero, because I don't think.
Yeah, it'd be close.
I don't think she would have cleared Unkar, which meant she wouldn't have cleared Jostero. But at least this way
to do the rotate. Also, if the tractor beam hadn't happened in the first place, Quick Draw would be comfortably in that section just in front of where Phasma is, behind Jostero.
Yeah.
And that would be brilliant, but
as it is, guns in the rear, got nothing shooting at her as well. So in fact, I think
Yeah, free range for quick draw.
so.
Probably
Epsilon and Quick Draw have free shots here.
going into Zuvio probably.
Yeah, it looks like 2 hits. Spending the target lock.
Yet been hurt.
But that's only one evade, so that is damage. That's a crit as well.
Ooh.
2 crits, in fact.
I feel like even though Quick Draw is one behind with only 3 health left, and this, I feel like you just drop a mine next turn anyway.
Yeah. Weapons failure and disable power regulator there on Zuvio.
That's a few crits, isn't it?
Yep. Not great. I think trying to see if he's got. Oh yeah, there's 1 dice.
Oh, the one dice with the weapons failure. Oh, it's not a pleasant sight to see for Ned.
Yeah, it hurts a lot, and I feel his pain. I really
Great for
do.
Peter though.
Yeah, especially when he's 4 dicing it back like that. Hard to see what they are. Looks like possibly 2 hits. Yeah. That's a lot more damage going through. So Unkar left on 1, and we've still got Epsilon and Revis to shoot. So we could be saying goodbye to Unkar very soon. Oh, just outside of range 1 there for Justero.
Oh,
And that's enough evades there from Pete. They are very good evades there. His evade dice in round 4 were just absolutely insane.
The dice have been pretty good, but also Peter has set up, like, he's completely surrounding Ned at the moment. Like, he deserves to get as much damage as he can from this round.
Yeah, he's done
particularly
really
after
well.
Getting out of that tractor beam situation.
I mean, that in itself was absolutely crazy. And you know what? Unkar survived that. We were saying about good dice, then Revis had some less than, I think it was actually Epsilon had some less than stellar dice, and then Revis as well. But yeah, Quick Draw getting out of that tractor trap was really good. Not looking great for Zuvio now, because he's ionized after the disabled power regulator. Probably not going to want to be dropping that prox mine, although with 3 health left, probably wants to drop it soon as well.
Yeah, you kind of may as well, because even if you do trigger it, Quick Draw is only going to shoot Zuvio. Zuvio's got a lot of damage already.
Yeah.
With those crits, so...
I mean, Quick Draw is heading out, though. Quick Draw is facing down the table.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's because of the rear arc. I'm getting messed up. Yeah, you might catch it.
We shall never know, though, at this stage now.
Yeah, we're past the system phase, so never mind.
Ooh.
That's a sneaky barrel roll there. I like it, though.
Yeah.
There's no way that fits like that, does it? Wow. All right.
Wow. Round of applause for that barrel roll. I'm still not sure. The one thing I'm curious about, though, is Zuvio's going to bump, which means that depending on where... if Zuvio bumps, he'll just drop the prox mine and it will trigger on Revis next turn. If Zuvio's still around.
Put a mine on multiple ships, do they all take it, or is it just...
No, with a mine, you choose. It's the first ship, and you choose which ship suffers it. So, unlike a bomb, which will, when it blows up, it will catch every ship within its range.
Yeah,
with a mine, it's the first one.
I've not used mines a whole lot.
I mean, if you were able to... I've just thought of this insane scenario. Zuvio versus a swarm of vultures throwing down a cluster mine and just hitting the front row of vultures.
That'd be cool.
I'd love to see that. It'd be so good. Or even just trajectory simulating a a cluster mine down like that. Just the hilarity of it. The perils of so many ships in close together.
Yep, lots of templates coming out to mark where everyone is, whilst everyone else moves. Unkar, I think, yep, he does get past. Okay.
He does clear.
Oh,
Two
the little
sloop.
sloop. Okay. Fair enough.
I like it. Really
and with
good.
the pattern analyzer, can still take an action.
So it can still do the space time tractor rate if it wants to. Not sure where it.
I feel like you just take a focus. You're on 1 health. You kind of probably want the defensive mod if you can.
I don't know, because you
But
can.
he's pointing around. Yeah. Okay, tractoring. Does that get him on the rock? His hand's in the way now.
I don't.
I think it bumps into Zuvio. I don't think it will fit.
Yeah, I don't think it fits past, which is a shame.
He's still in the middle with a tractor token, so 1 less agility.
Yeah. But Zuvio is going to bump into him in a second.
True. At least Unkar has a shot.
Yeah, Unkar has a shot. It's an interesting position as well for Jostero. What Jostero is going to do to try and clear. Is that that looks like a cave to try and get out the back.
Yeah, it's got to be a pretty quick one, but I think it will fit.
Again, so much marking up there to.
We've even resorted to having to mark with the 1 sharp turn template.
I mean, I applaud both players for the precision of which they're doing this. Some players could be quite cavalier with it, but especially Pete, we've seen him 3 rounds in a row. We saw Ned in round 2 as well. The precision they put into it is very much appreciated, saving that sacred board state, as it were.
Yeah, I think they clearly play a lot. They're in the final. They appreciate how much those tiny little knocks can actually impact a game.
Yeah,
and also they're on camera, so they're probably being extra careful.
I mean, I do like to think that any players that do end up on camera for us are able to actually relax and enjoy the game they're playing. I know that it can be an extra element to think about.
I'm still waiting for a game where someone just leans in and just waves at the camera.
Oh, those bits get edited out. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It is interesting when people lean so far over, like you just see their whole head just there, and
I've seen it a couple of times in this game, particularly earlier on, just sort of eyeing up, like, oh, maybe I'll squeeze in there, which we've all done. It's like sort of lining up a snooker shot.
Oh yeah, I mean the amount of times I get down almost to board level to like try and see where the arc is on a ship.
The only thing I don't like doing that for is like, am I going to fit around this obstacle? Because then it's really obvious to your opponent that you're trying to go close to that obstacle.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I get down to close to be sure and tell them that I'm going there? Or do I do it from a distance and have a less sure of the rock?
Yeah, it's such a trick on. Oh, that is Unkar Plut gone.
Oh, well, he wasn't a very nice man.
No. But this has just made it incredibly tricky for Ned now.
He's not an expensive ship, though, is he?
No, not an expensive ship. I mean, 36 points.
Yeah, it's like, what, 1/4 portion?
Perfect.
You're welcome.
I was waiting for something like that, to be honest. I was absolutely waiting for it. You know what?
Oh, Jostero with a range 1.
Is that?
I can't quite make out the dice my end. What is it?
Looks painful. So that's a shield. 2 crit, a shield and 2 crits.
That's into Rivers.
Indeed it is. And that looks like a loose stabilizer. And a structural damage. Oh, tracted and structural. It really is a shame that Zuvio doesn't have a shot on him right now.
Because that'd be 1 agility on a TIE fighter?
Yeah, 1 agility. But that's...
Though, with Rivers being on 1 health, Zuvio dropping the proximity mine here, if that just clips him, he's gone.
Yeah. So...
But if it doesn't, then you might end up flying over your own mine.
That is also a tricky thing when you're dropping it one in
Zuvio
front.
can at least reverse.
Yeah.
But Justero might be in trouble.
Well, yeah, if it doesn't catch Revis, then yeah. So let's see.
Is he going for it? Oh, yep, he's got the template in his hand.
It's going to be so close. It's going to be so close. And
he's not pretty. They've rolled damage.
It does catch him. Bye bye, Revis.
Tell you what, that is a really good ability.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really happy that Ned got to drop one of those prox mines, because there's nothing worse than taking an upgrade along and not using it. I know that obviously Ned has obviously played, this is the 5th game, so he's dropped proximity mines a few times, but it's always nice to be able to use the abilities when you've got them, use the upgrade cards.
Also, potentially, if Rivers had been on more health and only taken 1, Justero could have still taken a shot.
Yes, which would have been super cool.
But in this scenario, overkill.
Yeah. I mean, there's no such thing as overkill, it's just getting rid of the enemy.
Well, okay, that's a very first order way of looking at it, but sure. We are in the final round.
Yep.
It can, take out someone? He might tie up on points, or maybe half on someone?
Yeah.
How many points is half of quick draw?
Half of a quick draw. Let me double check. It's not as many as you'd think.
Yeah, quick draw's cheaper than
quick draw is 55 points, so half a quick draw would be 20.
Okay, Ned needs to knock out someone for the win.
Yeah.
It could happen. They're not the most healthy ships, these first order ties.
I mean, if he could somehow knock out quick draw, amazing. If he could knock out Phasma, which Phasma's still to move.
Where is Phasma? Oh, Phasma is getting out of there. A sensible choice from Peter. Keep those points as safe as you can.
Yeah. I don't think, unfortunately, that Ned has enough firepower to get rid of Phasma, because that's 5 damage needs to put through. Zuvio has only got 1 dice shot.
For a tournament, and especially the final of a tournament, that is the sensible play from Peter. Go for it.
Absolutely. And I think that they had a lot of in-close action there. They did very well. And you know what? Some of those ships, I'm impressed that they survived. I mean, Revis had a structural damage and a tractor and was still there at the end of that round to take that prox mine. So, it's going to be interesting. Let's see if Ned can score some more points on the board. But even then, the points as well, when you look at them, there's not a huge disparity in those points.
Not really.
A lot of it comes down to Guri being so expensive. 1 damage. And that does go through on Zivio, so that is some more points for Peter there.
Yeah, I think that cements it, but we'll see how the round plays out.
Absolutely. Can Ned get those half points?
Oh, I don't think so with that sort of a green
No,
die.
not when. Well, there's one more damage. It'll only need one, but I don't think it's possible. There is an evade token right there, unfortunately. So I think in the long run, that is it there for our players. And yep, there's the handshake
well done
there.
to both.
Yeah, well done to both players. Coming into this round 4-0, flying absolutely brilliantly. It was a great game to watch. Congratulations to our tournament winner, Peter, with his amazing first order list that I absolutely love. So it was an absolute pleasure having him on the top table for 3 rounds in a row. He did not want to leave that top table, I tell you.
Yeah, if you want to see more of the winning list in action, check out the other videos.
And Ned, a worthy second place there, flew very well. Unfortunate losing Guri as quickly as you did, but it was a great game. So well done, guys. Thank you very much. And James, again, thank you very much for joining us to commentate another game for Beachhead. I hope you enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks for having me on for the final.
No worries. Gives you a few ideas of some more Scum ships you might need to get now.
I'll pace myself.
Okay, well, guys, again, that was Beachhead 2022. A fantastic tournament. We have a little playlist up with all of the videos. We've got more videos coming up in the future. Season 2 of Flight Academy is just around the corner, guys, so really looking forward to that. In the meantime, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you do really like us, the Patreon link is in the description below, but we will definitely see you next time.